Hey guys, we're going to give everybody a few minutes to get signed on. We'll probably start in like a minute or two. Hang on, y'all. I'm about to start. I just have a bunch of people on Facebook asking for the link. 1 second. Okay. All right, guys. Now I can't find my Zoom tab. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you guys so much for coming on. We are always looking to get you guys opportunities in really good markets, and we think this is a really, really good one. We have hired a really awesome agent in Broken Bow named Kathy, and she's going to be leading this today with me, obviously because she knows a lot more about Broken Bow than I do. I know a little bit, but she is going to be the expert here. So Kathy, do you want to introduce yourself and we can kind of get started?
Sure. My name is Kathy Craig, and I'm a realtor here in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. I want to tell you guys a little bit about Broken Bow if you don't know where it is or what it is about. Broken Bow is in the southeast corner of Oklahoma. So it borders Texas and Arkansas. A little bit to the a little bit further to the east is going to be Louisiana. So it's a tourist community. Its primary is tourism. You're going to have 4 major cities within 250 miles. It is known for the Washita Mountains. The Washita Mountains go across 3 states. There's also the Washita National Forest, Beaver Bend State Park, Broken Bow Lake, Mountain Fork River. Mountain Fork River is crystal clear. So people come here for fishing, boating, kayaking, canoeing, trails, lots of trails, horseback riding, all of those things. The community is between 2 towns, Broken Bow and Hochatown. There's about 6 miles between the 2, give or take. A lot of the things are in between the towns, the restaurants, the things to do, all those things. So people come here and there's a long list of things to do here. They have lots of things for kids, petting zoos, old time photos. There's an escape game. There's a big maze for Hochatown. There's where did I go? Oh, there's paintball, there's, river adventures, there's zip line, mountain climbing, the trailheads, big golf course, a resort at the golf course. There's a mining company, there's horseback riding, trail riding, there's everything you could possibly think of. There's also a small casino. Gambling is legal in Oklahoma on Indian land. So this is mostly Choctaw land. There is a casino about 5 minutes outside town. The rumor is there's going to be a larger casino built in a few years. So that's the scoop about Broken Bow and all of the things to do here. Most people drive in, they ride bikes, they do, there's tons of activities for families. There's also several breweries, a winery, and they make their own whiskey here. Hochatown is supposed to be the moonshine capital of Oklahoma. Haven't seen that yet, but that's what they say. The properties here are all cabins. They range from about mid fives to over 2 million. The mid five ones need some work. They go from 1-1s, 2-2s, 3-3s, 4-4s, up to 6 bedrooms. So there's a lot of property available. The 1-1s and 2-2s do just as well as the 3-3s. So if you're, no matter what kind of range you're getting in, you can get into a property that should probably work for you. Avery, what?
All right, so let's talk about what questions do you guys have? I can actually share my screen if you want and show you guys the market comparison on AirDNA between the Smokies and Broken Bow. So if you guys want to do that real quick, I can do it. Hang on, let me just send in a few people some links here. See.
Kathy, could you also talk about taxes? What are the taxes like? Because that's something in the Smokies that's a big
So Oklahoma has a state income tax, but the occupancy tax and the sales tax is about 9.25% total. The occupancy tax is 4.5%. The taxes in Oklahoma for property tax are very low. So $1 million property is less than $5,000 a year, where in other areas, you're going to look at $1 million property being 20,000 and above, especially in some places like Texas.
All right.
Thanks.
There's also no application fee for a short-term rental. So they're very, because this is a tourist town, they want what they want as many as they can get. There's a ton of building going on. If you're looking for a new build, that's absolutely possible. If you want to build one, that's possible too. A lot of these properties have over an acre. If it's over an acre, the regulations are lax as far as I found, and you can build more than one property on your land. So there was one I showed yesterday that was a little over an acre, and the previous owner had started, or the people that have it now, started a 1 bedroom cabin just right down the way from their 3-3. So there's opportunity to grow on your land.
Cool. So I will take this opportunity to just show you really fast what the differences between the Smokies and Broken Bow are data-wise on AirDNA. So I will share my screen real fast. Okay, can you guys all see my screen? Cool. So I have Broken Bow and Sevierville. I'm comparing by income month over month. So Broken Bow is actually outperforming Sevierville most months. So that's pretty cool. I don't like to, when I'm doing these comparisons, I don't like to do the third and fourth one because the second and third colors are like really, really similar. But so most 90% of the properties in the Smokies are going to have Sevierville addresses, but we can compare Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg really quick too, if you want. Okay, it is not wanting to do, there we go. Okay, so the orange line is Broken Bow, and the income month over month is outperforming all three of the main areas in the Smokies at the moment. We can also switch this to occupancy rate, because I know you guys want to see that. Okay, so Sevierville a little bit higher on the occupancy rate, but everything's still pretty neck and neck. Does anybody have any questions on this or any other views that you want me to show? Hang on, I can't see you.
Hey, Avery, this is Luke. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Cashflow Carl here. And I would assume these numbers are just to overstate the obvious. This is coming from AirDNA.
Yes, this is coming from AirDNA. Y'all, Luke is he's driving a motorhome to Savannah right now, so he can't see the screen. But yeah, these are all AirDNA. It's the market comparison screen, Luke. So these are just the AirDNA numbers of occupancy and revenue market wide. So does anybody have any questions on this? Let's see. Penny, you have your hand up.
Hi, yes. So looking on Redfin and Trulia, all of the properties that I'm seeing currently in the MLS, many of them actually sold even within the past 6 to 9 months for half of what they are currently listed for on the sales price. So I'm really concerned that everything there is, phenomenally overpriced.
So we're seeing that in all the markets that we're in right now, Smokies especially. We're seeing it in Destin, we're seeing it everywhere. So there is a difference between an expensive property and an overpriced property. So I'm sure there are some that are overpriced. Overpriced to me means when you analyze it, the numbers don't work at the price you're able to get it for. An expensive property would be one that is expensive, but the numbers are working really well for the price you're able to get it for. In any market, it's important to not necessarily get caught up in what someone else paid for it, because even in a slow market, the chances that the seller paid more for it than what you're paying is going to be slim. So we're seeing that level of inflation basically everywhere. And it's mostly due to investor interest. So if the numbers weren't working, the prices wouldn't be where they are. Because again, this is not necessarily an area where a lot of people live. So at some point, the prices might climb high enough that the numbers no longer make sense. But as of right now, a lot of things are still getting multiple offers and things like that. So, and these are all investors that are offering on these things. So I would just advise, like, run your numbers, make sure they work at the price you're able to get it for. And if they work, then great. But if not, then, maybe wait for the next one.
Yeah, and Luke here again, just to reiterate that, and of course, we are selling houses for a living, so got to take that for what it's worth. But I mean, Avery's absolutely right. She nailed it home there. I'm buying single family long-term rentals in Alabama, and they are trading literally for double what they were 12 months ago, 13 months ago. But at the same time, my rents are also through the roof, and the same holds true for my short-term rentals. So of course, everything we do at the shop is enemy method related. Prices, the government printed a lot of money and a lot of it went into the value of homes. And it's just kind of the world we're living in right now.
Right, I hear that. Are you expected in the Broken Bow market for prices to cool off and actually drop here over the next 3 to 6 months?
I do not expect that. I expect them to continue to go up.
Okay.
Diagnostics iPhone realtor referral. You're on the phone with the realtors. So Kathy is our Broken Bow realtor, and I'm putting her right here. Kathy at theshorttermshop.com. Kathy with a C. Chris.
Yeah, thanks. So your AirDNA data, in looking at it, like it crossed up and over the Smokies in like November 19 or something like that. I think it was what it said a minute ago. Yeah. So like historically, I assume it was kind of a little bit below the Smokies. Was it, the Smokies have always been really good.
Yeah.
Great now, great then. Was it also good before kind of that 2020 timeframe? Just not really seeing, can't really see it on the screen, but.
Yeah, because it only goes back.
Yeah, which is fine. You don't have to pull it up. I was just curious from somebody in that market, has it been, was it also doing well, or is it more of
it was doing well, but this is a burgeoning market. The things that are here, the new restaurants, the activities, all those things are 5 years old or newer. There's some things that have been here a while, obviously the lake and the river, but this has been a historic tourism place for years. I came here as a kid. And so, but it's really kicked off in the last 5 years. They've put a lot of things in that have brought a lot of people in. It is year-round tourism here. The fishing is good all year round. We do have 4 seasons. It does get cold in the winter, but cabins are booking, you know, all year round. So the more people know about this and the people from other states, it's just continued to get better and better. They call this place a little Pigeon Forge, the Smoky Mountains from 20 years ago. That's how they refer to it.
Yeah, and Quentin has a really good question or comment that, and I was about to say kind of the same thing. I can't help but think that all the continued growth in Texas will increase the traffic to Broken Bow. So guys, whereas like I grew up in Mississippi and everybody from the Southeast, when they want to do like a drive mountain trip, we go to the Smokies. This is kind of like one mountain market over. So, you know, you've got all the big cities in Texas that do the weekend trips to Broken Bow, all the cities in Oklahoma, a lot of them in Arkansas too. So it's just kind of a similar market, but it's actually a very, very similar market to Blue Ridge, because, you know, Blue Ridge, a lot of people coming from Atlanta, a lot of people coming from Charlotte, all those big southeastern cities. Very, very similar here, but it's a lot of the Texas cities and Oklahoma cities and places like that, Little Rock.
Yeah.
Can you share the revenue numbers by bedroom count? Let's see.
We actually have an example of some homes. We can do that whenever you're ready.
Okay, I will let's do that. Let me stop sharing so you can share. Okay, go.
The Queen of Crystal Beach is helping me today. So Kim Moore is going to share some stuff on the screen for us. Okay, so this is just a picture of Broken Bow Lake. It's a very large lake. It's about 22 miles long. And it's got the state parks and the things. It's a national forest. We do have a historic scenic view drive like they do in the Blue Ridge Mountains. So that draws a lot of people all year round. Yeah, let's do Pilot Fish. So 151 Pilot Fish Road. This is a 2-2. It is a really cute property. I was in it yesterday. It's got 2 bedrooms up and some space down. They really decorated it cute. This one is listed at $610,000 and it is self-managed, and it grossed $76,000 last year. It has a hot tub. A lot of these houses have hot tubs, no pools, hot tubs, you know, and fire pits. Those are fire pits, obviously important, and about 70% have hot tubs. Okay, 594 Woodland. I wanted to give you guys an example of this. This is a really interesting property. This property is listed at $825,000. It's 1.2 acres. It has 2 cabins on 1 piece of land. There are 5 or 6 like this. So it's got a 2-2, a 2-1, and a 1-1. So this property did $91,000 last year net. So it's great because you can, you know, rent 2 different ways. So it did really, really well. Really cute. A lot of these are at trail, you know, you can walk through the woods, trailheads are near. So it's just a great property. Really, really cute. You can, they've done a really good job here as far as they have food delivery. It's not DoorDash, it's called a Ho Chi Town, I think, bus or something. And then they have firewood delivery and all those things. So it's really easy to do whatever you want to do here. Kim, let's do 645 Long Pine. So 645 Long Pine. This property and another property that I showed yesterday, they are kind of near the road. There is a little road noise. It apparently has not stopped people from wanting to stay there. This property is a 6-bedroom, 5-bath. It's listed at $1,090,000. It's on 1.38 acres. It's really cute. And this house netted $106,000 last year. It was property managed. So
when you say it's the second time you use the word net, what do we mean by that exactly?
well,
as opposed to-
they're giving us the actual bills. So the spreadsheets I'm getting have every single bill that the property management charged the customer and the net that was paid to the property owner.
Oh, so basically it's gross after the property manager takes their
Yes.
cut.
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. Liz. Gross after property
Yep.
management takes their cut was 106.
Got it. Okay, so that technically is net. I see what you're saying there. Yeah, I just want
Yeah.
to clarify that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. No, thank you. But I mean, I've got the information for the propane tanks and how much this costs and how much that costs. So they're sharing the information, which I think is really, really helpful.
Yeah, because they do not share that in the Smokies, even though you are gonna typically outperform any local property management numbers. It would be nice if in other markets, they gave us expenses and utilities and stuff, but they just don't.
And they may not always. I mean, we're
This
just
is
now
just a good-
coming in here. But for right now, they're giving out the information. So I think it's really helpful. So Kim, I don't want to do 64 Willow Bend. There's some weird stuff with that one. Thank you though. So does anybody have any questions about the area? Oh, well, okay, so let me talk about one thing that's coming. So I don't think it's coming for 2 years, but I get varying information. Like I mentioned, Oklahoma, gambling is legal. It's all on Indian land. There is a very large casino near Durant, Oklahoma. And I mean very large, on the scale of Vegas large. They are building one here. And it will probably be 2 years away. They're going to put in a 700-acre lake that's going to be on the property. So that will bring even more people into town. There's not a lot of competition with hotels. There are a few here. They're not good. So, you know, that has not had an impact. And even if they build a hotel with the casino, I don't think that's going to impact it either. It's not going to be the same kind of people that are staying at the cabins.
Do we have
I have a
any
question.
idea? Oh, sorry. Do we have any idea of total number of cabins available in the area? I mean, like, you know, not available, but, you know, complete total number, like in the Smokies, it's probably somewhere, we just have to guess, but somewhere maybe in the 15,000s, 20,000, somewhere in that area.
There's maybe, I'd have to look. I would say below 2,000. There are 43 currently on the market. That's on the market. There are some off-market properties that are available and some build jobs that are happening, but you know, they go quickly when they go. And my suspicion is that we're at this moment, even though the prices have gone up substantially in the last year, we're still, you know, it's going to go up from here. There's not as many cabins. I would say less than 2,000, but I would have to look.
Right. So we do need to keep that in mind. There's 104 people on this call, and there's only 40 cabins available in the
There's
entire
only
market.
40.
So
Right. Now there are off market and there are things
right.
being built, but it's going to be you know, this is, I mean, and it's really it's a wonderful place. I mean, it's really, really cool. Anybody that has a chance to come visit should.
I have a question. The lowest that you showed so far is 600. Are they properties lower than 600?
Not really. There are a few that are lower. There are a couple in the 500s. We looked at one yesterday and it had never been rented before. It was a family home. It needed a lot of work. There are a few in the 575, 598 in that range. They're a little further out and they need work. If you're willing to buy something that needs a little work, meaning new furniture, that kind of thing, then there might be a couple, but not really. There's really not that many in the 600s, but there are some. So the other thing that they've talked about with the casino is a water park. So again, they're trying to be family oriented and build the water park. There's going to be a venue here very near that's going to be an outdoor amphitheater with concerts and movies and those kinds of things. So all those things are coming. And that's what I mean when I say this is a burgeoning area. It's all coming. We're 3.5 hours from Dallas, 3 hours from Tulsa, 2 hours from Fort Smith, Arkansas, 5.5 hours from Houston. So you can get here very quickly from a lot of places. If you drive around, you're going to see mainly Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana license plates. If you see Oklahoma, it's typically somebody that lives here or works here.
So there's a lot of you in the chat asking for like specifics on what different size properties and all that. So the typical AirDNA spreadsheets that we have for all of our other markets will be up for this market for 2018, 2019, and 2020 by this afternoon. So just keep an eye out for that. I'll post on the Facebook group too when it's up so you guys can check it out.
If anybody
And,
is go ahead.
Kathy and Avery, can you talk about permits and licenses and things like that? How much legislation is going on? It sounds to me it's very clear that they do want us, meaning the short-term rental owner, to be there. But what do you know as far as permits are concerned?
So there is no permitting process for a short-term rental. There is no application and there is no fee. There's no talk of that changing, but it's absolutely possible. Other than that, I mean, there's building permits and such, but there's nothing else. The occupant, there's an occupant, the occupancy tax rate is 9.25%, but that's a combination of the sales tax and the occupancy tax. So the occupancy tax is actually 4.25.
Right. So basically it's like Sevier County where we need to pay our occupancy and our sales tax, and we probably need to have a business license. But other than that, as long as we are operating in good faith and having, no issues with our neighbors, we do need to be good short-term rental owners. Then sounds like a very hip place to be as far as we are concerned.
It is.
Yes. And I'm going to grab a few that are in the chat. Does Mortgage Shop service this area? So Mortgage Shop can do commercial loans here. So the reason that Mortgage Shop can do commercial loans everywhere and then it's kind of slow to get the conventional ones going is that the licensing for new states, once you submit, can take between any time from 2 weeks to 90 days. So that's why we're like, oh yeah, we can do commercial in a lot of these new ones that we're introducing, but we can't do conventional yet. So we can do our commercial loans here. We have applied for the conventional license. So hopefully that will come through pretty quickly and we won't be waiting around for a long time, but we can do that investor cash flow DSCR loan in Broken Bow as we speak. Is there a preferred, Kathy, is there a preferred like area to be in Broken Bow in terms of buying, like, are any areas better than others? Or is it kind of like the Smokies where it's like, as long as you're 20 minutes from town, you're good?
As long as you're 20 minutes from town, you're good. Now there are some that are closer to the road that may not be preferable for some, the main road, but as long as you're within 20 minutes, and everything's really within probably 10 or 15 minutes from everywhere. So you're good.
Cool. Yeah. So this is a really, really similar market to the other mountain markets that we're in, like the Smokies and Blue Ridge.
I've got a question. In the Smokies, it's the views and location. So in Broken Bow, if you can't be on the lake, then what's considered desirable?
It's the views. It's
Okay.
mountainous. So the views are amazing.
Okay, so the views and within 20 minutes of town would be the most ideal and off the
Right.
main road.
Well, so yeah, and then there's also the river and the lake. And so, yeah, I would say, and it really, like I said, everything's really probably within 15 minutes of town. But yeah, the views are amazing. I mean, everything is very, very wooded.
All right, Penny, you have your hand up.
Sorry, I didn't take it down from last time.
Okay, so I'm gonna put Kathy's email in the chat again because it scrolled off. All right, guys, so we will have the AirDNA data up here in just a little bit. I have them, I just have to post them. Does anybody else have any questions? Oh, Melissa is asking about cleaners. Is it difficult to find cleaners?
It has not. There are plenty of cleaners around.
Cool.
Kim and Jason, do you guys have any comments since you've been here?
Yeah, I mean, so Jason and I own in the Smokies. I'd say the views are a little bit different than what people are. Sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't on video. I would say that the views are a little bit different than what you see in the Smokies. So views are actually very wooded. There's a couple areas where you can kind of get somewhat of a mountain view, but it's very beautiful in terms of just very forestry. But that's kind of what, when Kathy describes the views, she's talking about forest views, not so much like what the background you see behind me, that's up in the Smokies at one of my STRs. So, but still very, very beautiful.
Okay, a Calendly link for the short-term shop is, if you're not a client already, it's stsconsultation.com. We are pretty slammed for the next couple weeks. We are booked up. And then, yeah, so I've got Kathy's email in the chat, Kathy with a C at theshorttermshop.com. Just shoot her an email for more info, and then I will post in the Facebook groups when I get that AirDNA data up and running, if no one else has any questions.
You mentioned that there's new builds going on. Is there like a development happening, or is it just kind of one-offs? Would you recommend anything that way?
They're one-offs. They're one-offs. There's one neighborhood called Crystal Lake. They've kind of cleared a lot of the land, so I'm not too excited about it, but these are all one-offs all over the area.
Is there a builder you recommend?
There are several, and I can get with you privately about that.
Cool, thanks.
Cool. Any other questions?
Does Kathy have a Calendly link?
I do have a Calendly. I do. I can have Shay share that.
The best way to get a hold of you, email or Calendly link. And then do you have lenders you recommend?
Yes, I have email or Calendly is fine, and I do have lenders. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Kathy, I was going to ask you about offers. Have you noticed that only cash offers are really being competitive right now, or are you having deals that are going through with financing?
Oh no, deals are going through with financing.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
I just want to say Kathy rules.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm trying to get that Calendly link to throw in the chat for y'all. Let's see. Chris wants to know if they're mostly spec builds, or as it is done in the Smokies, or is it all construction to perm loans on the buyer?
So it's mostly specs. They don't really want to build, I mean, they will, but I don't think they just want to build a spec, get it up and get it out.
Gotcha.
So it's mainly specs.
Kathy, I don't think we have a link to your
It's
calendar.
on my email.
Oh, got it. I found it. There we go. There's Kathy's Calendly. We'll leave that up for a few minutes so that you guys can schedule on it. Are most deals closing at asking, or should we expect higher?
Well, my wonderful people from my wonderful new friends and clients from yesterday, we were able to get it just a little bit lower than asking. Now, I don't know how long that's going to last, maybe 24 hours, but we were able to get it a little bit lower. So not a lot, but a little bit. I think for the first day or two, we might still be at asking or a little bit below. After that, I don't know. We'll see.
Cool.
And I am, out and about today, tomorrow, Saturday. If anybody wants a video or wants to make an offer or FaceTime, just let me know and I can get it done for you. So.
Cool.
Any other
Anybody else? No more questions? Okay, so if we don't have any more questions, we will let y'all go. And you have Kathy's Calendly there, her email address, and I will post in the Facebook group as soon as I get those AirDNA sheets up on the website for y'all to look at.
Thanks, guys. Look forward to working
Awesome.
with you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Bye.